What's up, Achievers? Lauren Pack here, and today I have a 30-minute beginner dumbbell class for you. It's going to be mostly strength-based, so low impact, no jumping, nothing like that. And then at the end, we're gonna have a little finisher where we get our heart rates up and get ourselves moving a little bit faster, okay? So we're gonna start with a warm-up. We're gonna come down to the floor. I want you to get onto your hands and knees and have your shoulders stacked right over your wrists and your hips stacked right over your knees. And now from here, look straight ahead. Think about keeping your chest nice and open. Rock your hips back to your heels and rock back forward. We're just starting by loosening up those hips a little bit so that when we get into some squatting movements, our hips feel ready and prepared for that workout. All right, now we wanna think about keeping our spine long, so try not to tuck your hips under and round your back as you're rocking, but think about sticking your tailbone back and keeping everything nice and straight. Let's get a couple more repetitions here. Excellent. Alrighty, next we're going to, from the same position, take your right foot and place it pointing out. So your leg is at 90 degrees, toes pointed out. And then from there, take that right hand, we're gonna reach it through the space between your left hand and your left knee, and then rotate up to the ceiling. So we're getting this rotation through our upper body. We're rounding and then rotating and reaching. We're gonna get a few of these on this side, warming up our T-spine, our upper back. Should feel pretty nice, especially if you've been sitting or you just woke up. This is a great little opener here. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So bring that left foot out to the side, point your toes out, reach the left hand through, and rotate, reach it up to the ceiling. Awesome. We want to think about getting full range of motion, so rounding as we reach, extending and opening up as we rotate. Let's get one more here. Excellent. All right, next we're going to start back in that quadruped position, but we're gonna swing one foot up. So you're in the all fours position. Now take your right foot and place it next to your right hand. All right, and now we're gonna do some rocking like this. You're gonna rock forward, think about getting a stretch through that back hip flexor, and then rock back and straighten out that leg a little bit. You should feel a pretty good stretch in your hamstring. All right, rocking forward and rocking back. You can do what's comfortable with that front foot. You can either keep it planted or you can lift up your toes. Might increase that hamstring stretch a little bit. Let's get one more on this side. And then go ahead and switch. Bring that left leg forward. Start by driving the hip forward. Feel that hip flexor stretch. And then back, feel that hamstring stretch. And we're just oscillating between these two positions, getting some nice movement in. When we're doing our warm-up pre-workout, we want it to be more dynamic, more active, so that we're getting everything prepared for movement as opposed to just stretching and holding those positions. All right, beautiful. We're gonna do one more move for our warm-up. It's gonna be a body weight squat. Our first strength exercise is going to be a dumbbell squat, so I wanna just warm up our legs and prepare ourselves for that. So I want you to get your feet a little wider than hip width, and I want you to turn your toes slightly out. All right, this stance is gonna be different for everyone, but that's a good starting point. And then from there, I want you to think about driving your knees out and sitting your hips back, going down as low as you comfortably can into that squat, pushing into the floor and coming up tall. And we're just gonna do some nice slow repetitions here. Just get this pattern warmed up. All right, and as you're going, play around with your stance. Maybe you find being a little bit narrower feels better to you. Maybe being a little bit wider feels better. All right, see what works for you. It's gonna help you get ready for our first set of dumbbell squats. Let's get 3 more repetitions here. Reaching those arms forward for a little bit of counterbalance. And rest. All right, cool. We should feel a little bit more loosened up, a little bit more warm. Now I'm gonna walk you through what our first strength circuit is gonna be. So the overall gist of the class is gonna be 2 strength circuits of 3 exercises 3 times around. And then at the end, we'll do a little quick finisher, like I said before. All right, so the first strength circuit, 3 moves. We're gonna start with a goblet squat. So you're gonna take your dumbbell, hold it by the top of the dumbbell, hold it in tight to your chest, and we're gonna squat. So you're gonna get into that same stance you were just in, send the hips back, knees out, push into the floor, stand tall. All right, we'll do that for 30 seconds, then we'll rest for 15 seconds. While we're resting, we're just catching our breath, getting ready for the next move, which is going to be a split stance row. So you're gonna have your back leg straight behind you, front leg bent, elbow on your knee, You're gonna row that dumbbell up toward your hip, pull the shoulder back, and lower back down. At the halfway point, we're gonna do a quick switch over to the other side. All right, and then finally for exercise number 3, we're gonna drop down to our backs on the floor. We don't need our dumbbell for this one. You're gonna bring your legs up at 90 degrees. We're gonna think about getting our ribs down, lower back pressing down toward the floor, and we're gonna tap our heel to the floor, back up, and switch. This is called a supine marching movement, and you're really gonna feel your abs there. All right, so like I said, 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, 3 rounds, and then we'll take a little break and move on to round 2. Cool? All right, I'm gonna hit my timer. We have 5 seconds to start. We're going with that goblet squat in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Drive those knees out, push into the floor, and squeeze the glutes at the top. All right, I want you to think about pointing your elbows down so that they end up inside your knees. If your elbows are ending up on the outsides of your knees, probably your knees are caving in a little bit too much. So drive them out, elbows point down. 10 more seconds here. Nice job, everybody. We're going at a pace that feels good to you. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. All right, we're getting ready for our split stance row. So let's have our right leg forward first and step your back leg back behind you, nice and straight through that back leg, elbow on your knee, going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Row toward your hip and think about pulling that shoulder back. We want to squeeze behind your shoulder blade. Pinch back. 5 more seconds here, and then we're going to switch sides. In 2, 1, quick switch over to the other leg. And pull with that right hand now. Awesome work. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. All right, we can get that dumbbell out of the way. We're gonna go down to our backs for our marching. All right, so get yourself set up now. Laying on your back, legs at 90 degrees, hands on your ribs and press your ribs down. 2, 1, and go. Now I want you to start by keeping your knees bent and just tapping your heel and coming back up. And the goal here is not to allow your rib cage to flare up as you're lowering that heel down. So really keep your ribs pinned down and make sure you're breathing as you're doing this. So breathe out as your leg lowers out, breathe in as your leg comes back in. Nice job. We've got 5 more seconds. If this feels easy, next round I'm going to give you a weight to make it a little bit more challenging, and rest. Awesome work. All right, shake it all out. We're going to do that 2 more times. So we're starting back at the top with our goblet squat. So you can grab your dumbbell and get yourself into position. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Driving those knees out, sitting your hips back and down. And this time, think about your spine position. I want you to think about keeping your chest open and trying not to let yourself round over as you squat. Shoulders back. And trying to stay more upright. We don't want to stay so upright that our knees go straight forward. We do want to send our hips back and let our torso lean forward just slightly. All right, but we're keeping our spine long. 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful job. All right, shake it out. Again, we're getting ready for that row. Right leg forward, left leg back, and we're gonna row with our left hand. All right, set up your stance now. Elbow on your knee. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Pull that hand back toward your hip and lower it all the way back down. We want that full range of motion here, so make sure you come all the way back down. You don't have to touch the floor, but toward the floor with the dumbbell. And pull, switch sides. Right into it on the other arm. Good, we want to watch out for our shoulder rounding forward, so think about squeezing back behind your shoulder blade. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. All right, now I'm going to show you an option to make this one harder if it was too easy for you. If it was hard enough as it is, just stick with the way that we were doing it. All right, so we're on our backs, legs up at 90 degrees. 3, 2, 1, and go. Ribs are down. If it was feeling too easy, we're going to start to extend your leg a little further. So before we were keeping our knee pretty bent, now we're going a little further, straightening out that leg a little more. The further out you kick the heel, the harder it will be to keep your rib cage down. All right, and eventually, if you're comfortable with it, you can go all the way to legs straight, but you want to stop yourself short of whenever your ribs start to want to pop up. 2, 1, take a rest. All right, awesome work, everybody. We're gonna do that one more time. So we're gonna start back up with our squats. We got 5 seconds to go. Hold that weight in nice and close to your chest, elbows down. 2, 1, and go. Nice job. We wanna make sure that our pace is fairly slow. We don't wanna think about rushing through these movements. When we're doing a strength workout, the strength moves should be controlled and fairly slow so that we're focusing on form and mindful of our movement. Nice job. Sometimes slowing a movement down actually makes it harder. We got 5 seconds left. 2, 1, take a rest. Nice job. All right, should be feeling those quads a little bit, feeling those glutes a little bit. We're gonna go into our row. Again, same thing, start with your right leg forward, left leg back, hold the weight in the left hand. In 2, 1, let's go. Squeezing back, lowering down. Good, we're keeping our shoulders fairly square to the ground. We're not getting a ton of rotation as we do this. Trying to think about staying fairly square. And switch sides. Awesome work. Should feel a combination of upper back and biceps working here. 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Down to the floor. Last set of marching, and then we're gonna have a little water break while I explain round 2. All right? Go ahead and get yourself set up. Choose a variation that suits you best. In 2, 1, and go. So remember, exhale on the way out, inhale on the way in. Awesome, we're not trying to win any championships with how far you can kick your leg out. It's more about meeting yourself where you're at. The more you do that, the more you're gonna feel yourself be able to progress this week to week. All right, nice job. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. High fives to your computer screen or TV screen or phone screen, whatever you're watching this on. Great job. I want you to get some water, take a second to recover, and I'm gonna go over round 2. So the second circuit is once again gonna be 3 exercises, 3 times through, same time intervals. So 30 on, 15 off for 3 rounds. All right, the new moves, we're gonna start with a Romanian deadlift, or shortened, it's called an RDL. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold the weight by the outsides of the dumbbells. You're gonna have your feet just underneath your hips and toes pointed straight forward. And then you're gonna soften your knees, send your hips back, and trace your legs with the dumbbell. When you get to about torso parallel to the floor, push into the floor and stand up nice and tall, squeeze those glutes. All right, so we're sending our hips back and standing. So now we're doing more of a hinging pattern with our hips as opposed to the squat was more down and up. This one is hips going back and forward. All right, that's gonna be number 1. Number 2, we're gonna go into a push-up. We have a couple different options for you here. You can either do a push-up on your feet if you're comfortable with a full body push-up. You can shorten that to a push-up on your knees here, or you can go into a tall plank hold. A tall plank hold is a great way to practice your alignment for push-ups. So if going into that full range of motion down and up isn't feeling great, we're gonna go right into this tall plank position, driving your toes into the ground and just holding a nice straight body line here. All right. And then finally, we're gonna go into a side plank. Again, we have a couple different variations. You can either do a kneeling side plank, so your knees are stacked one over the other. Drive your hips forward and up, squeezing those glutes and holding. We're gonna do a quick switch at the halfway mark. So when I say halfway, we're just gonna roll over onto the other side and go right into it. All right. Or if you feel comfortable, you can go feet out and legs straight. That's gonna be a little bit more of a challenge for that side plank. Cool. All right, so we only need our dumbbell for one move, the RDL. Then we'll do the push-up or the plank hold, and then we'll do our side planks 3 times through, 30 on, 15 off, and then we're at our finisher. All right, we're doing great. I'm gonna set my timer again. We're gonna start with our RDL. All right, in 5 seconds, grab your weight, the outsides of the weight. 2, 1, and go. Send those hips back, push into the floor, stand up tall. We're really focusing on our alignment here, making sure your ribs stay over your hips. So we don't want to arch your back too aggressively, or alternatively, we don't want to round over. All right, we're somewhere in between. Our ribs stay stacked over our hips, and stand up nice and tall. Nice job. You should feel the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, and glutes working hard here. We got 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. All right, come on down for our push-ups. So whichever variation works for you, you can do push-ups on your feet, push-ups on your knees, or that tall plank hold. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So when we're doing push-ups, no matter which variation you're doing, we want to think about our elbows pointing about 45 degrees away from our body. So we're about here at the bottom. We don't want to be straight out here. We don't want to be tucked in too tight to our sides. All right, trying to aim for the middle there. Think about opening your chest up toward the floor and then pressing hard into the floor to push back up, keeping everything nice and together and connected. We got 3, 2, 1, rest. Excellent. Then we're gonna go into our side plank. So remember, you can do this kneeling or with your legs extended, knees stacked or feet stacked. All right, we're gonna do that quick switch at the halfway point. 3, 2, 1, and go. So if you're kneeling, one knee is over the other. It can be slightly hovering or down, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Hips are forward, so we're not sticking our butts back. And then think about driving into the floor with that bottom arm. We got 2, 1, and switch. Quick switch over to the other side and hold. Continue driving down into the floor with that bottom forearm, squeezing those glutes tight, hips up high. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job. All right, we're gonna do that 2 more times. So we're gonna stand back up. You're gonna grab your dumbbell, hold the outsides of the handles, and then we're gonna do RDLs again. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice job. Think about your weight being distributed nice and evenly through your foot. We wanna make sure that you're not leaning so far back that your toes end up lifting up. All right, weight is on your midfoot toward your heel, but your whole foot should stay in contact with the ground. And then you're using the backs of your legs to assist you in coming up strong and tall. We got 3, 2, 1, rest. Awesome. Let's go into our push-ups. Again, choose what works for you. You can always do that static plank hold instead of the push-up if you'd like. We've got 3, 2, 1, and go. This time I want to challenge you with your hand position to spread your fingers out, all right, so that you have a wider base of support with your hands instead of having them cupped or fingers together. Nice spread out fingers, and think about corkscrewing your hands out as you lower yourself down. So you're just getting a little bit of extra tension to help lower yourself down and bring those elbows in. All right, great job here. Keep it going. We got 3, 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful job. We're gonna go into that side plank. If you started kneeling and it felt too easy, go to feet. If you started on your feet and it felt too hard, go to your knees. All right, meet yourself where you're at. We got 3, 2, 1, and go. Hips up. The top arm up to the ceiling usually works well, but if putting it on your hip feels better, that works too. All right, really think about keeping your glutes squeezed and the back of your head in line with the back of your heels. Switch sides. Right over. Our tendency is to have our head kind of jutting forward. Think about pulling your chin back of your head in line with the rest of your body. Nice deep breaths as you hold, and rest. Awesome. Alrighty, one more round to go. We're back to our RDL for the last time. Grab the outsides of the dumbbell in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Send those hips back. Soft knees, we're not bending them too much. It's more about reaching back with your hips. You can think about if you were going to close a car door behind you and you had something in your hands, you had to scoot your hips back to do that. Awesome job. 5 more seconds. And rest. Awesome. We're done with the dumbbell. You can put it off to the side. We're going back down to our push-ups. Couple nice deep breaths here to get ready. And we're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Remember, you can be on your feet, on your knees, or planking. And no matter which one you're doing, our alignment is the most important thing. Straight line from the back of your head to your heels, or to the back of your knees if you're kneeling. Awesome job. 10 more seconds. Really think about pressing the heels of your hands into the floor as you come up. Nice and strong. 2, 1. Take a rest. Last side plank here. 15 seconds on each side. We got this. All right. Go ahead and set yourself up for your first one. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hand wherever feels comfortable. Knee up or down if you're kneeling. I prefer slightly up, just feels like a more natural position for me. And go ahead and switch over to the other side. Nice job, keep holding strong. Check that alignment. And rest. Beautiful. High fives again. Great job, great job. We're gonna wrap it up with a quick little finisher. All right, so this is gonna be nice and fast. We have 2 different moves that we're gonna do for 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And the only difference here is that instead of going through the circuit like we did for circuits 1 and 2, we're gonna do all 4 rounds of the same movement. Because it moves so fast, I didn't wanna do too much up and down off the floor and not give you enough time to rest. So it's gonna be 4 rounds of speed squats and then 4 rounds of mountain climbers. All right, so for the speed squats, what we wanna do is we've gotten comfortable with our squat stance at this point. We've already done it twice. We're gonna just do this body weight now. So again, feet are a little wider than shoulder width, toes slightly turned out. We're gonna go down and up, and we're gonna move nice and quick. All right, it helps to kind of have your hands come up at the bottom and then toward the ground at the top. It just kind of gets you into a good rhythm. All right, so we're here, here, and just going as quick as you can. Then we're gonna do 4 rounds, then we're gonna go down to the floor and do some mountain climbers. So here we have 2 options. You can either go a little bit slower and more controlled if this is a challenging position for you, or you can try to run those knees in and out to make it a little bit more of a cardiovascular effect. If for any reason that plank position in general is just feeling too challenging, we already did a lot of that with our push-ups, you can come up and do some running in place instead, sort of a similar pattern. All right? Sound good? So excited? Let's do it. So I'm gonna reset my timer. We don't need any equipment for this one. It's just gonna be your own body weight, starting with those speed squats in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so it's 20 seconds. It's pretty quick. We wanna think about getting in as many repetitions as we can. So in the beginning, I said strength round, we go slow and controlled. We're still thinking about form, but now we're trying to go quick. All right, still drive those knees out. Stand tall, but go right one into the next. 2, 1, and rest. We shake it out. Bring your heart rate back down as best you can. It's a quick rest. 3, 2, 1, go. We're right back into it. Another round of squats. Awesome job. Nice and quick. Try to get those arms moving in a rhythm that feels comfortable for you. And we're trying to be nice and light as we go through this. You should almost feel like at the top, you wanna jump up off the floor. And rest, nice job. Ooh, starting to feel that one. All right, shake out those legs. We've got 2 more of those. We got 3, 2, 1, let's go. Awesome job. Keep trying to work on speed. Keep trying to go as quick as you can up and down. Drive those knees out. 5 more seconds, come on. Woo, it's starting to burn. 2, 1. Oh yeah, yeah, we're feeling that. It's a lot of squats in a row. All right, we got this. Whew. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Come on, last round of squats. And then we get to give our legs a little bit of a break. Try to make this your fastest round yet, let's go. 10 more seconds, we're halfway there. You got it, keep smiling. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Oh man, all right. Shake out those legs, bring it to the floor. We're going right into our mountain climbers. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So remember, you can go a little slower here, or we can try to speed it up. We want the foot to hover right above the floor as you bring it in, knee in toward your chest. Body stays long. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. Just stay down here because we're going 3 more rounds. We're almost there. That's going to be the end. Oh, come on. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's do it again. Running those knees in and out. Remember, if you need to, you can come up off the floor and do some running in place instead of this, okay? Whatever works. We're trying to get our heart rates up. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Told you you'd give your legs a break, but I'm still feeling them. You probably are too. Feeling those shoulders. 2, 1. Let's go. When you're doing these, if your wrists are starting to bother you, make sure you're not too far over your fingers with your shoulders. Bring them back a little bit. That'll feel a little better. You can turn your fingers out slightly too. All right, come on. We got this. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so close. 1 more round. We can do this. All right, everybody. Last one. Let's get it done. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Come on, think about pushing the floor away with your foot that's down as you drive the knee in. Stay strong through your hands, strong through your arms. Push into the floor. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Oh, done. Awesome work. High fives all around. I said beginner, but I didn't say easy. That was not easy. That was hard. So awesome job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Let's get a quick little cool down and stretch. I want to start with those wrists because I know we did a lot of plank push-up positions here. So go ahead and take your backs of your hands and press them down toward the floor. We don't want to do it too aggressively. All right, pointing your fingers back toward your knees. Just a gentle stretch here. Starting to feel the counter action of this extended position that we've been in. Awesome, and then flip them over so that your forearms are facing away from you. Awesome, very nice. Let's do a little downward dog next. So we're gonna press our hips up toward the ceiling. You can have a slight bend in your knees and think about pressing your chest through your arms. And we're just holding here, sending those hips up toward the sky. And last one, bring your knees down to the floor, sit back toward your heels. You can either have your knees toward each other or open them up for a little bit more space for your body. Whatever's more comfortable for you. We're gonna go into a child's pose. And we're going to reach your hands over to the left. And that's gonna make you feel a stretch on your right side. Beautiful, and then we're gonna do the opposite. Reach your hands over to the right, and you're gonna feel a stretch over on your left side. Awesome. All right, everyone, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back and do it again. Each week you come back, you can try to add another repetition or use a little bit more weight or do a variation that you weren't able to do last time. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you come back, and I hope to see you soon. Great job.